Well, it's 8:45, and we promised that Diane Pickett would visit with us this morning, and good morning.
Good morning, Art.
I tell you, it is a delight having you, and you got an article in the Walton Sun this past weekend, and you're going to be signing a new novel.
Yeah, I'll be down at Sundog on Saturday.
All right, and tell me a little bit about the novel.
Well, I'm just really excited today. The novel is doing far better than I ever expected. In fact, it just won a national award. It won the 2014 Indie Excellence Award in Regional Fiction.
Oh, very good. Very good.
And I found out yesterday that Books A Billion has picked it up, and they've ordered 600 copies and will feature it as their chosen book for the best Father's Day gift.
Ooh, very good.
So, I mean, I'm very excited, but I'm stunned.
Yeah, that is super. Now I know that you have some ties around Plains and Americas, around that area. Is the book focused there? Is it focused here?
Well, the book is set in Georgia.
Okay.
It begins up in North Georgia in the mountains.
Okay.
There is one real character in the book.
Okay.
And that was my grandfather. And believe it or not, my grandfather actually fought in the Civil War.
Wow.
Not my great-grand, but my grandfather.
Okay.
He was a famous preacher in his time. So there are some stories about him. Then it moves to South Georgia, to the community of Tifton.
Okay. Tifton.
And there are a couple of chapters about Americas.
Mm-hmm.
I used to spend summers in both of those places, so I know them pretty well.
Yeah, and we had a friend from South Walton, Bill Horn, and Bill was a developer, and so when we were there for Plains, he showed us around Americas, and I did this subdivision back in whatever, and this one, and this one. He had built, I remember 400 houses in Americas, and I know we went through 5 or more subdivisions that he had developed. So it was interesting to get that perspective on Americas, because...
Well, that would be post-war, because Americas prior to that was a much smaller community, very, very historic community. The book actually is full of history. It's woven into the story itself, so you really don't realize you're getting a lesson.
Yeah.
But there's an awful lot of history in there, and in fact, I've had a couple of college professors tell me that they think the book ought to be required reading for both junior and high school students just because of the history.
Oh.
But people, don't get scared. I mean, it's not a textbook. You know, you're going to laugh a lot.
Good. What's sort of the underlying theme of the book?
The underlying theme basically is choices.
Uh-huh.
How the choices you make affect not only your life, but the lives of other people. And how, a single choice can affect your life forever.
Yeah.
So choices we all have to make every day, and this is what I've written about.
Oh, fantastic. Now, let's talk a little bit about where we can get the book.
Well, if you hurry up before the inventory runs out, since Books A Million has ordered 600, right now it is at the bookstore here in DeFuniak Springs.
Okay.
You can get some there.
Okay.
You can also go to my website, which is uphillpub.com.
Uphillpub.com.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the book retails for $13.95.
Okay. And then you will be where this weekend? And
I'll be down at I'll be at Seaside at Sundog Books on Saturday from 6 to 8. And then I have a lot more book signings all over the South.
Yeah.
So I'm sure Books A Million is going to keep me pretty busy.
All right, keep you moving.
Yeah.
That is great. And did you get to go to any of the Chautauqua events in Plains? I know you were there.
I was there for a book signing, and that kept me pretty focused on that.
Yeah. That was an excellent event, and they did a good job of.
Well, the Carters certainly know how to promote themselves.
Yeah, no question. And the crew there was just a delight. It was a very, very good.
Well, I'm glad y'all had such a good time.
Yeah, good time. In terms of the book, are there any local or area things that might intrigue us to know?
You might find out a little something in there. I did write about a character who lived in DeFuniak when I was growing up, a much beloved character. Her name was Alma.
Okay.
And she lived at the old Florida Hotel. Torn down.
Yes.
But I remember that old
hotel.
Yeah. Well, Alma's gone. She's been gone for a long time. But I remember that old hotel, not just because of Alma, but they had the most fabulous yeast rolls that have ever been created.
Okay, now where was it located? Was it the one there at Gulf Power? Or
no, it wasn't on the Circle. It was across from the current DeFuniak Hotel on that opposite corner.
Okay.
Yeah, where the little mini market used to be there.
Okay, yeah. And no.
And it was run by Madge and Curtis Rutherford.
Okay. That I thought that's where we were going with that.
Yeah.
But,
Perry Curtis Rutherford was their son.
Right. Very good. And any books in the works now that?
Well, people have been asking me for a long time to write my autobiography. I'm kind of thinking about that. Watch out. And I haven't.
Will I remain nameless, or are you going to name names?
Well, we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah, be nice to me. You might wind up in print. But I've got another book in the works, and it's called The Red Eye Gravy Trail. But in order to get into that book, I've got to find some restaurants that still make red eye gravy.
Still make.
Yeah. Now, I know how to make it, so don't send me a recipe.
Right, yeah.
But if anybody knows of restaurants that still make red eye gravy, go to my website, uphillpub.com, and it says Contact Diane. Send me an email and let me know what you know about red eye gravy restaurants.
Okay. And we're looking for, I assume, anywhere, or mainly, well, probably in the South?
In the South for the moment.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So.
Now, I had somebody tell me about a red eye gravy restaurant in Atlanta, and honey, I went there. Do you know those fools put wine in their red eye gravy?
That's so that you get red eyes.
I'm telling you, I didn't eat too much of it.
Okay, and we've had several listeners call in asking, one, the name of the book, and
the name of the book is Never Isn't Long Enough.
Right. All right. Never Isn't Long Enough, and asking if it will be available to download on Kindles or other.
It is on Kindle, Nook, and Apple.
Okay. Kindle, Nook, and Apple. So
a lot of people wanted me to do an audio version, and I've kind of thought about that. But when I got to investigating, Art, I've learned so much about book publishing, it's unreal. Do you know what it costs to do an audio book? If I want to read it myself, it costs between $8,000 and $10,000 just to do an audio version. So,
well, we can put you in there. Lois.
All right. But yeah.
And I get to play the weird uncle. That's just good. But yeah, it's anytime you start out on a new venture, you do find a lot of things that open your eyes.
Well, this has been really a very exciting venture and a personal one. You know, I've been in public life, I guess, almost all of my life. But it has always been promoting DeFuniak, promoting Chautauqua, promoting Elder Hostel, that kind of thing. This is the first time in my life I have ever been in a position where I had to promote myself because of this book.
Yeah.
And it's been a very interesting journey. You meet some of those fabulous people.
Yeah. And this can sound strange probably to some, but sometimes when we read the obituaries on the air, you say, gosh, I wish I had known that about that person. I would have liked to have explored that with them. You know, and I guess the same thing happens in the writing process.
Well, don't talk about obituaries. I've had 2 cancers, and I hope I'm over them, and I'm not going there.
You don't want to go.
But, you know, some of the really fascinating people who have come to my book signings, I was in Tifton, Georgia last week, and this absolutely delightful lady came. She was 88 years old. She was a big-time reader. She had seen the cover of this book. Mm-hmm. She came in a wheelchair with her grandson and said, I have just got to meet you. I have got to see this book. I have got to read it. 88 years old.
Wow, that's incredible. And we mentioned the fact you're going to be at Sundog down at Seaside.
Saturday, 6 to 8.
And I assume that's p.m.
p.m., yeah. I don't think I'd get too many callers unless they were walking off the beach hungover.
That's right, yeah. The overnighters.
That's right.
And you mentioned that they are available locally.
At the bookstore in DeFuniak.
Is that, are those autographed, or can they be?
They can be. I know one of them is, and I forgot to do the others.
Okay. Find you. And you're living in Walton County.
Oh, yeah.
In South End.
Right. Well, I'm back and forth. You know, I've got the house on the circle.
Right.
So I'm here some, and I'm down at the beach some. And, of course, I'll be touring a whole lot right now.
I was fixing to say, and now, is that all over the country or mainly in the South? Where's the...
Right now, I'm focusing on Georgia, North and South Carolina, and North Florida. I'll be going west in July for a few weeks to do some signings there. And it'll be pretty much wherever Books A Million wants to send me.
Yeah. And I guess that's a part of the process too. You at least to a degree, turn your life over to somebody else to move you around, and you've been the one doing the moving in the past.
Well, and Art, knowing me, you know they're not going to be moving me around a whole lot. I will certainly do all that I can to accommodate them.
Yeah.
But my life is still my own.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Books A Million, it'll take me a little while to gear up to get those books out there, but they should be available for the Father's Day. You know, they're going to use that as their primary book for the Father's Day gift.
Yeah. And again, the name of the book?
Never Isn't Long Enough.
Okay, and we hope that you will take the opportunity to visit with Diane Pickett, and again, the website uphillpub.com.
Yeah, and Art, let me encourage people to go on there. I am just learning that writers have to be on Facebook, which I don't know much about. I'm learning. So you're supposed to go to my Facebook page and like it.
Okay.
If you don't like it, don't say so.
Don't tell anybody. Thanks, Diane.
Thank you.
WZEP, DeFuniak Springs, Florida.